to the state park. The park very two times Danny and she showed us these wires. Each year we went up the dunes and she had this, I'm like, I don't know if I can reach it. And she said, like, it's just a little further. And it was hot. It was a hot part of the day. I'm like, Danny, is it coming soon? Yeah. But it was nice and it was a beautiful in the town. We just walked around. They had a little farmer's market going on. There's some playing instruments. Just peaceful, and surprisingly, it wasn't bad. It must have been because the fourth, so many people were there. Yeah, and I think the weather we predicted was going to be really bad.
Hello, everybody. Hi, Mary. Nice to see you all. Welcome to our fellowship service this afternoon. Those of you who are here in the room and all those who are watching online as well, we welcome you. We're going to stand and sing together as we do our opening song each Sunday. It's on the very front of your songbook, Prayer of the Children of Love.
Father, Mother God, your kingdom come, your holy will be wholly done. Spirit, source of love, your children sing, flow through us now in everything, every day, in every way. Our prayer is this: everywhere, let love be there, and so it is. Back to the top. Father, Mother God, your kingdom come, your holy will be wholly done. Spirit, source of love, your children sing, flow through us now in everything to the end. Father, Mother God, your children pray, be love in us in every way.
Thank you, and please be seated. We're going to do our meditation. So I invite you to begin to relax. Close your eyes if you're comfortable with that. Oh, let your shoulders drop and your jaw soften. And let's take our 3 deep fellowship breaths with a big audible ah on the out breath. And on that out breath, just let any stress or tension in your body just flow right out. Let's breathe in. Breathe in. One more time. Breathe in. We open our minds and hearts and ground ourselves, center ourselves in this present moment. Preparing ourselves for deep, deep listening. Divine love, our source, the God of our hearts, expressing through us, seeing, hearing, speaking, experiencing all of life as us. And through this blessed gift, we behold the perfection of all creation. There is truly nothing else to see. Wholeness and completeness. Only eternal and everlasting oneness. In this and in every moment, the circle of love is complete. We are perfect life, here and now, reflecting the perfect whole. One with divine love. Our minds are at rest, still and clear. We are peace. And together we say, and so it is. Thank you. We're going in a little bit different order today. So I would like to invite you all to stand again as we sing another song together on page 30 in your songbook. Love is the answer. Stand.
Whatever the trouble I find myself in, no matter the difficulty, when my back's to the wall and there's nowhere to run, the door's open and I don't have the key. The walls start to crumble, my world's caving in, I've lost my security. I feel that no one in the world understands. I'm lost and confused and lonely. Love is the answer. Love is the key. Love is the answer to the question for me. Love is the answer. Love is the key. Love is the answer to the difficulty. There comes a time in everyone's life when you come to the fork in the road. I know that some changes have got to be made, for I'm carrying too heavy a load. I don't understand the position I'm in. I don't know which way the wind blows. I'm looking for answers, but none seem to come. I'm wondering which way I should go. Love is the answer. Love is the key. Love is the answer to the questions for me. Love is the answer. Love is the key. Love is the answer to the difficulty. To the difficulty.
And now you can stay standing and give each other a warm welcome, a hug, a handshake. Namaste.
Probably the doggy allergy.
Okay.
Just a little announcement because we have some beautiful new people joining us today. In your packet that was on your seat, you should have a comment card, and on the back is a prayer request space. So if you have anybody, anything, any situation, whatever that you would like for us all to join in community prayer around later in the service, please just put this in the collection basket as it comes around. And this also goes out to our prayer team. So lots of prayers around your requests. So this is exciting now. We have our wonderful Linda Abar providing both the message and our music today, along with Corey Williams and Sarah McDaniels. A lot of you will recognize Sarah. She's been here a number of times. So I'm going to introduce Linda and let her get started. Please give her a warm welcome.
Can you hear me? Excellent. I don't know if that's safe there, but I guess we're going to find out. I came up with this talk months ago. It's around some stories about my dog, Rufus. So I'm going to back up, and hopefully these will make sense. I feel like I'm more organized than I've ever been for a talk. It's kind of interesting. I've got quotes ready and stuff. I'm like, wow, look at you. So after my first love of my life dog, Dingo, passed, I needed some space, and I co-parented a dog with a friend. And when that happened, another friend, Patricia Wood? No, Patricia, I don't know. Her name's Patricia. She used to come to fellowship a long time ago, but she moved away. She gave me a magnet that says this: good dogs are with us for a little while to teach us how to love like it's our job, because it is. And on a little thing on the bottom, I didn't see that until today, lessons in loving from our most constant friends. Now, this is not necessarily a story about the fact that I come home and my dog's all like, ooh. He's actually rather an aloof terrier, okay? You kind of have to earn his love, and you can lose it too. So the first story I want to tell you about him, though, is how I found him. I was co-parenting this dog, and I got to a point where I couldn't stand it anymore. The pain of like giving him back, even though I had bonded with him, I didn't think I could bond with another dog, but especially someone else's, but it happened. And it worked out that his owner, Chelsea, and Atticus went with me to adopt Rufus. And Rufus had been one of these things where I had deep prayer over it. Like, I was desperate for a dog, and I was looking on Pet Finder, and I was like, you're going to have to show me and tell me. And I was led to this dog. That part's a good story too, but I have to limit myself here. So when I got home with the dog, I was actually sick at the time, and my husband at the time, Michael, was like, let's, put the dog in the crate, turn the radio on. We'll go out to dinner and decide what to name him. So I turned the radio on, and on comes Nature Boy, sung by some chick, and I'm like, wait a minute, this sounds exactly like how I sing it. Did I really steal it? You know, because I'm not often on the radio. And then the announcer's like, oh, that was Linda Abar singing Nature Boy at the Summer Solstice Festival. I was like, what? You know, so here I am, turning on the radio to comfort my dog with my voice, singing Nature Boy. The words to Nature Boy are pretty much describe him. A little shy and sad of eye, but very wise is he. And because this dog, I never really trained him. I just established a relationship with him. He was terrified of people. He was obviously traumatized. And he's gone from being traumatized to meeting my students out in the driveway and walking them in. And that whole thing of watching him change in a good environment has always given me hope that as long as I provide myself with a good environment, which is my responsibility, I can change and grow and overcome all of my various mental states. So, I'm going to sing Nature Boy for you now. One of my favorite things about this song is the last line. The greatest thing you'll ever learn is just to love and be loved in return. Move to my other station. There was a boy, a very strange, enchanted boy. They say he traveled very far, over land and sea. A little shy and sad of eye, but very wise was he. And then one day, one magic day, he passed my way, and while we spoke of many things, fools and kings, this he said to me: the greatest thing you'll ever learn is just to love and be loved in return. There was a boy, a very strange, enchanted boy. They say he traveled very far, over land and sea. A little shy and sad of eye, but very wise was he. And then one day, one magic day, he passed my way, and while we spoke of many things, fools and kings, this he said to me: the greatest thing you'll ever learn is just to love and be loved in return. Ooh. to the next story. Rufus is now 15. While he was 14 last year in the fall, things started changing. Like he just wasn't himself. He got fussy eating, started throwing up, had accidents in the house. He couldn't, go all night without going outside. And then what really got troubling is we walk in the woods. Some of you walk with me. And I started losing him. Like, he used to, I could let him off leave. He could go off on his own little tangent, and he'd always come back. And I literally would watch him sniff out my trail and find me. Well, that stopped, and I couldn't find him. And that was very disturbing. And a couple times I had to run to catch up to where someone said he was. And I ended up blowing out my right hip, which was, 3/4 blown to begin with. But anyway, so all winter long, I've got this injured hip, and he is sick as a dog. And I don't know what's wrong, and I think it's aging. And that's one of the things, with dogs, they can't really tell you what's up. Not that they would know. I have a hard time distinguishing what's my chronic stuff and what's aging. So I didn't take him in until his physical. So we had his physical, we ran the blood test, and everything looked good until the blood work came back. And then it was like, he's got Lyme disease. And I had to be like, okay, I'm not going to beat myself up for this. Because I didn't know. I just didn't know. And so I had to do a bit of self-forgiveness around that. And we went through, I'm missing something, I'm so sorry. Let me back up. Beep, 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 beep. So while he was not feeling well, I do all manners of things to this dog to keep him alive. Like, I'm on LifeWave patches, I put the patches on him, which means I have to put something sticky on him and pull it off. There's all these things I have to do to him. And I realized he was starting to not like me anymore, and it was interesting to feel like the same angst and distraction in my mind, because he's my primary relationship, that I had when my marriage was not well. It was like, man, I'm just like fighting with my dog, and he doesn't want to be around me. And then I realized that I would love on him, and then I'd do something to him. And so he never knew. I looked at my part, okay? I wasn't just like, blame the dog. I didn't do that. And so my first version of putting love first was to listen to the signals of my person, who's a canine, change my behavior and see what happens. And he was actually responsive. Like other relationships I've been in with humans, I changed my, they just keep doing what they're doing. But Rufus started responding, and we bonded again, and it was all fine. But when he was, so many things you have to do to someone who's not feeling well. And I got to a point where he's on his little chair, sleeping, and I'm like, I didn't brush his teeth. And I thought, what's the loving thing to do here, Linda? Yeah, you should brush his teeth. But he's really not going to appreciate that. And so to me, putting love first is to put love first. And just that's more important than his teeth getting brushed, is that him feeling loved and having care and being able to relax is way more important to his health than his teeth being cleaned. And in that moment, I felt like my heart, I'm going to try not to get verklempt, just blew open. And I realized me giving him what he needs and making love first and maybe all the other things second, it was like a whole new vista of love opened up for me in a moment. And then the second moment after that, I realized, my body's been compromised since birth pretty much, especially since 5 years old. And I felt like, especially in my last marriage, that I was just a pain, I was just very inconvenient and la la la. And so I was basically like, will you just go in the corner and be you so I can have my life? That's what it felt like. And I thought, what a missed opportunity to grow. Because the inconveniences that our people bring to us give us the chance to love more. And it blew me away. I hope that relates to some, because that was very, very meaningful to me. Which brings me to my first reading. I'm so excited I brought poetry. And I think about, I'm going to read this Hafez poem. And I'm going to read it as is. And just like we could translate Nature Boy as, my dog didn't tell me, he taught me the greatest thing you'll ever learn is to love. But here's a Hafez poem about loving. It happens all the time in heaven, and someday it will begin to happen again on earth. That men and women who are married, and men who are lovers, and women who give each other light, often get down on their knees, and while so tenderly holding their lover's hand, with tears in their eyes, will sincerely speak, saying, my dear, how can I be more loving to you? How can I be more kind? Thank you, Hafez. Now, I'm going to tell a little story about a young girl, I think she's 7, that I teach. I teach Monday through Thursdays. By Thursdays, I'm pretty fried. And her and her sister come at 6 o'clock at night. And it's like, okay, I can do this. They're both adopted. They both have extra stuff, okay? And this girl, like, I would say something to her, and it leaked out of her brain immediately. And I was like, what is going on? Like, I know she's smart, and I would feel myself getting impatient. She couldn't tell. She just loved me no matter what, which was amazing. She's like, oh, I want to live here, and huggy, and, you know, one of the things I love, and if you want me to, I'll send pictures to Samantha if you want to see pictures of these stories. Rufus, who used to hate people, allowed this little girl to swaddle him in a blanket and put Squishmallow toys all over him. She did that during her sister's lesson. It was, I turned around, you know, I'm like not facing them, and I see, and he's got this look on his face like, yeah, let her do that to me. So anyway, so I started talking to her about her brain, because I've done a lot of brain research. I've listened to a lot of things, learned energy medicine because my brain has always been like not working well. And I would say to her, I would just be honest in a loving way. I'm very frustrated because I'm trying to teach you something and you're not retaining it and you're not making progress, and I really want to figure this out. So I want you to think about it. A couple weeks later, she comes in and she's having this great lesson. I'm like, what happened? She said, oh, well, I thought about what you said, and I had this realization that I was worrying about my schoolwork during my piano lesson, and I decided not to do that. She's 7. Now, me putting love first was like, I used it as a spiritual discipline to not lose my stuff with this girl. I'm like, I'm going to be patient. And so that was my practice. I was patient with her. I treated her like I would want to be treated. I also tried to remember she's 7. What would my 7-year-old self want? What did I get from my teachers that was the most important thing? And the most important thing was that they loved me and they believed in me. I don't remember what they taught me. You know, and if I didn't feel loved or believed in, my brain would shut down and I wouldn't learn anything, which is what my math teachers did to me. God bless them. So she said that. And I realized if I had pushed or prodded or tried to figure out myself because I'm the teacher, that would have never happened. And she would have never had the experience of figuring it out herself, which is so much more powerful. Then, after I got her down, I was like, okay, who else do I feel uncomfortable with myself after engaging? You know that feeling you get like, I wish I could have done that better. So, and I've been working on this forever. My parents, I already have the practice that I don't call them when I'm too depleted because it's just not going to go well and I'm not going to have the patience that I want with them. And so that was my next challenge is, you know, being patient and kind on the phone with my parents and letting them be who they are, because that's what I want them to do for me. And even if they can't do it, I'm going to give people what I want in return. And that has been getting better. And I've been more honest, because I think to be loving is to be authentic and honest. But you've got to do it the right way at the right time. And one day, I just had to say my political views and how I felt about all the stuff that was coming out my dad's mouth. And I ended the conversation with, I love you no matter what. I'm always going to love you no matter what. And that feels, even right now, saying that, my heart goes, yes. Like, it's hard to be around people who believe the opposite that you believe. That's hard. And I want to avoid, and I've done some avoiding, I'll admit that. And there's that whole loving at a distance thing. But so far, the putting love first is working. Now, barriers to love. And here's where another part of the Rufus story unfolds. I was getting to a point where I was eating healthy frozen meals and cooking his food from scratch. And I was like, girl, that's codependent as hell. Like, you need to stop that. So this summer, and I knew I was going to do this talk, and I'm like, okay, so here's, bite the bullet. You better start taking care of yourself, because otherwise you're not going to be able to say that you did it. So I'm glad I booked the talk, right? So I started doing a gut healing protocol and blah, blah, blah. And now we're kind of eating the same stuff, which is weird. It's like his meat, my meat, his grain, my grain. Mine has onions in it and pepper. His does not. So the balance thing of, if I don't take care of myself, I eventually will not be able to be loving to other people. And it feels like a balance between, like a balance board. There's the wobbly ones that do this, but then there's the circular ones. I have one of these, and they're really fun to dance on, like it's some Michael Jackson going. There's so many things to balance in life. And I don't think there's a way to really find a still point except when you're meditating. But finding a still point while you're moving and doing and being is just very, very tricky. The other thing about love and self-love is I came up with this, not allowing mistreatment, as we can't absorb love from those who do treat us well when we allow ourselves to be mistreated. Now, I will say that I stayed in relationships for good reason while I was being mistreated, because I needed to plan my exit strategy. So I am not saying, if someone's mistreating you, just walk away. It is not that simple. But I came up with this thing like I do when I'm walking in the woods. I've got 1 million voice memos. Actually, it's only 1,500. Breathe love into those who can contain it. Exhaling into a black hole with nothing to inhale back but toxic fumes is potentially lethal. Now, some people I can never see again, because that's what it is. It's just a black hole. No matter how much I love, accept all of that, nothing's going to come back at me, and I'm going to deplete. Others, I can love them at a distance. Brene Brown has these beautiful quotes about boundaries where she says, a boundary is the space between us in which I can still love you and love myself. And the other thing that her research says is that the most generous people aren't the most spiritual people or the most enlightened or religious or whatever. They're the most boundaried. So it's like, if I'm going to extend kindness, I have got to take care of myself. And when I get hungry, angry, lonely, tired, when I get depleted, that's when the cussing goes up and the impatience goes up. It's like I can notice. I notice these things in myself, and I'm like, whoa, you need to calm down, sit, drink some water, do whatever. And I find myself with this idea of how can I be patient within my impatience, you know, and that's where feeling my feet on the ground, just breathing, you know, you can feel that stuff build up in your body. I also notice that when I drink too much caffeine, oh my God, I'm way too impatient to be loving. Way. Oh! Okay, so this thing says, love is patient, love is kind, it does not envy or boast. Love isn't proud, it does not dishonor others, it is not self-seeking or easily angered. Sounds like ego management is important. It keeps no record of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres. Love never fails. One of the few Bible verses I think is just like stellar. Okay, let me see. I did an exercise once. Oh, wait. I'm going to back up again. So the whole bit about staying centered, the other thing I feel like I need to give myself permission and tell other people it's okay to slow down. I think we are so trained by society, the culture, that we have to be accomplishing things. We've got to be doing stuff. Like, I got to teach this kid this thing. I got to get my dog's teeth brushed. There's not a lot of room for love in that. But if we slow down, we can remember that. And when things change, sometimes how we love has to change because people's needs change. And that goes back to the Hafez poem. How can I be more loving to you right now? And then it's respecting what people have to say or what their body language is saying or any of that. This is just a side note, but I did this training with Arjuna, Arda. He spoke here a long, long time ago. And we did this exercise where we laid on the floor surrounded by other people, and they kept asking, what is your deepest desire? Over, and you just kept saying whatever came to mind. And of course it's like financial freedom, health. And then pretty much everyone came down to, I just want peace. And I honestly don't think we can have peace without love. Like, if you really think that through. Like, how can I have peace without love? So maybe if we think about that, focus on the love, we'll have our peace. And the other thing that I wrote was, we are not just walking each other home. We are learning to be with each other as we walk each other home. So, I have a meditation I'd like to do. If you could get settled, feet on the floor if you can. Gently close your eyes. I'm going to start with a heart meditation that I actually learned from Arjuna. And what I want you to do is just focus on your breathing. Breathe in through your nose if you can. And I want you to imagine building a fire in your heart until it's nice and big and warm. You can see the flames. You can see the smoke rising up to the sky. And this is all in the center of you. And then in your own rhythm, I want you to inhale thoughts through this fire and let them turn into smoke and blow away. And on your exhale, give a blessing to the realm of which thoughts come from. Breathe in thoughts, let them billow out like smoke, and exhale a blessing to the realm where thoughts come from. And now we'll do emotions. Inhale emotions into that fire. let them turn into smoke and dissipate. Exhale a blessing to the realm that emotions come from. Inhale your emotions right through that fire. Let it turn into smoke and blow away. And then a blessing coming to where thoughts come from. And last, if there's any physical sensations that you have that are bothering you, inhale those physical sensations, let them turn into smoke and blow away. And exhale a blessing to your whole body. Inhale a physical sensation, let it burn up, turn to smoke, blow away. Exhale a blessing onto your whole body. Now that we've cleaned out our hearts, I want you to let a face, a name, a situation present itself to you in your mind where you would like to take on the challenge to being more loving and to putting love first. Ask that person, situation, or the ethers, what is it that I could do to put love first in this situation? How can I do this? And how can I structure it so that I remember? And if nothing comes to you, perhaps this could be a journaling exercise that you could do later, trying to see who are the people where after I interact with them, I have that little angsty feeling in my heart. And I believe you'll be guided. Take in one more breath. Exhale another blessing to your whole being, all the way down to your feet. Wiggle your toes. Move your hands. And then gently open your eyes. Thank you.
Linda, that was wonderful. I've had the privilege of meeting Rufus. Have any of you? I see a few other people who have, yeah. He's a very sweet and special little being.
Can I say one last thing?
Sure.
He's sick again. So, if you could
Yes.
pray.
Yes. This is the moment in our service when I remind us all that we can fill our hearts with love, with blessings and gifts and awareness of all of it. Looking around us and feeling the love that is emanating from each beautiful being on this planet. In this moment, we feel the generosity of those around us. We experience it. And in this room especially, so many who are generous with their love and attention and time and resources so that we can move into our 42nd year soon in September. So as John comes around with the basket, I invite you to hold in your hearts abundance consciousness, knowing that fellowship will thrive and flourish into the future, And also a reminder to put your prayer request cards in. And as he comes around, let's sing together, I am grateful.
Grateful, I am grateful. Grateful, I am grateful. Grateful, I am grateful. Grateful, I am grateful. Grateful, I am grateful. Grateful, I am grateful. Grateful, I am grateful. Grateful, I am grateful. Grateful, I am grateful. Grateful, I am grateful. Grateful, I am grateful. Grateful, I am grateful.
And now if you would please pull out your bulletins that they're on your desk, your lap or on the floor. And please read with me the blessing of our tithes and offerings. The light of divine love shines eternally, blessing and multiplying our tithes and offerings. I joyously give, knowing I always have enough to share and to spare. And let's just take another moment to close our eyes. Maybe put your hand on your heart. Let's move into this sacred heart space where we experience that soft and open and gentle and quiet heart. And in this space of oneness, we know that all those listed in the basket today are there with us in this space of oneness. They're with us and they feel the oneness and experience the love that resides here. Knowing that all is truly well. All those who are on our list in the basket and all the beautiful beings on this planet, one with us in this moment and always. And together we say, and so it is. Thank you. Thank you. And now we have some more wonderful special music. After.
Oh, okay. So this is Sarah. Sarah's going to play that thing. This is another song that dropped into my YouTube feed. And I've wanted to do it for a long, long time because the first line is love. Love is a verb. Love is a doing word. And it has all kinds of breathing in it. So, I'm into it. Okay. You ready? say to me, fearless on my breath. Gentle impulsion shakes me, makes me lighter. Fearless on my breath. Teardrop on a fire. Fearless on my breath. Night of matter, black flowers blossom. Fearless on my breath. Black flowers blossom. Fearless on my breath. Teardrop on the fire. Fearless on my breath. Water is my eye, most faithful mirror. Fearless on my breath. Teardrop on the fire of a confession. Fearless on my breath. Most faithful mirror. Fearless on my breath. Teardrop on the fire. Fearless on my breath. And I'm stumbling a little. I'm stumbling a little. I'm stumbling a little. Thank you, Cora and Sarah, for making my little dream come true.
That's what we do.
That was great. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for the wonderful music. Thank you, Linda and Corey and Sarah. Big. And thank you for just an amazing message, Linda. It's so heartfelt. We always know that it will be when it comes from you. And lots of good things for us to think about, too, and put to purpose in our own lives. So thank you for that. Thank you for all of you who are here today. We wouldn't be here if it weren't for you. And thanks to all those watching as well. The only announcement that I have right now is Healing Movements on Mondays at 4 p.m. And does anyone have any other? We're kind of in that time period where we're we don't have a lot going on in this next couple weeks. So come and join Julie on Mondays. I'm sure that would be a fun thing for everyone to do. So let's join together in our big circle and sing our peace song and say our closing blessing. Thanks again for being here.
The peace that was meant to be, with God as creator, family are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To shake each moment and live each moment in peace eternal.